Welcome back, everybody. It's Creative Redemption back again, here with this special edition of a live stream, which is a solar live stream. Why not? Maybe it'll eclipse everything else I've done this week. Okay, that was back. So in this stream, I'm going to discuss everything solar, everything kind of related to it. So it does mean a lot, especially on the grand scale of things. So hopefully everyone's doing well. I wait for some people to join me here because I actually started a couple minutes sooner than I scheduled. But see, look, it's sunny. I see a shadow. And look, there's no snow. Isn't that awesome? So hopefully everyone had a chance to see the glimpses of the solar eclipse that happened today. Perhaps you were in the path of totality. And if you weren't, maybe you saw a partial eclipse, where you entered that what's that called? Penumbra. And perhaps you were within the lines or in the path of the umbra. Basically, it means shadow. And hopefully you got a chance to see it. See, I live quite out west here in Canada, so I just saw very small partial eclipse of it. A little bit less than the last time that I saw it. Because obviously its totality is way more out east, so I only saw a sliver on the east facing side of the sun. So, hey, it's Celticama. How are you doing? Nice to see you. And yes, it's solar time. So hopefully everyone saw it. Apparently everyone went live. I was kind of busy, but I didn't catch it. I only caught one of the streams, but apparently everyone went live, or posted a video, or posted a picture, or posted shorts. Someone posted something about it. As a content creator, that's just one of those things. It's just like, something fun, right? Something to talk about. And I figured, you know what? I made the shorts earlier, but I figured I'd go live and dive more into it, even more. I know some of the stream I attended, people were asking stuff, whatever, right? They're like, how can if we're getting 95, 98, 99% of the eclipse or coverage, how come it's so bright outside still? Well, because if we look at, hypothetically speaking, if the sun was like a flashlight, and a flashlight puts out lumens or luminosity, right? Well, 1% of like 10 billion lumens is quite strong still. I think that's why totality is like what? 99.999%. You didn't see it? Oh, I know some people, the clouds came over. So unfortunately, some people couldn't see it. I know some people posted a few things about that. But yeah, still good to get outside and get some vitamin D. And apparently a lot of people got some vitamin D today. Everyone was outside. Here in Canada, it was at, Niagara Falls, Montreal, out in Newfoundland. It's already gone now, but it was exiting out east. So, because it started down in the central time zone, then migrated out east and northwards. obviously as the moon's tracking to that direction, and obviously, the sun's doing its thing. Well, you didn't have any glasses? Well, I have shown something that can work. Because obviously you should not stare at the sun. Clearly. That's a bright example of not doing something silly like that. Right. Because obviously you can go blind and all this other stuff, right? But yes, I have shown something that can work. I know people have used like welding, masks, face shields and stuff like that. So it's nice to see it with your own eye. Hopefully one of these days, I'll be able to see one for real in the real world, not just in a video or in pictures, right? Because I imagine being able to see a total eclipse or an angular eclipse, which is slightly different, or even a hybrid type of eclipse, would be kind of cool to see. Especially if I can record it and document it, make some content too, and post some pictures. Yeah, right. That's the kind of content that just writes itself, right? You don't even need to say much, right? Just let this rare moon, sun, earth alignment tell us everything, right? And hopefully, the clouds won't cloud over. Yeah. That'd be a good thing to not do, right? Celtic Grammar. That's definitely one of those things you don't want to do. I know people were posting pictures, video. People were going live, right? Obviously, there's live webcam footage that you can see it, right? Although that's still not quite the same as being in the places that totality, or along the path of totality, right? Because if you look at a shadow, if you put your hand, hold on, let me demonstrate this with something here. There, it's gonna be bright. See something around here. So if I put my hand closer, it's more defined of shadow. But if I pull it away, you start to notice that it becomes softer and more diffused. So think about that. Consider that. Because I remember back in the third time that I showed it, and that people were asking, so if it's 40 for 50% coverage or whatever, how come the sun still looks so bright? And what I say, because I just came up with it because it makes sense, it's because the sun is so bright, the lumens is so enormous that even 1% of like 10,000, 1% of 10 billion lumens is still incredibly bright. So something to keep in mind. Why don't you, and why can't you, without glasses or whatever, or some sort of filter, how come you can't see the moon if it's that, right? It's because the glare is so strong. And the only time you actually don't see that is when you're in the path of totality. Because the shadow's much more defined on the surface of the Earth right now. Well, at that time. A couple hours ago. So. And yes, the apocalypse didn't happen. Alright. Remember, a solar eclipse happens all the time. The only difference is that if it's on land, or if the moon's shadow crosses on land, we're able to see it. Because obviously the oceans cover like 75% of the surface, so obviously I don't see anyone actually traveling on a boat out in the middle of the ocean to go see an eclipse. But technically, you could. I think I heard there was like even a special flight that was gonna, well, it already has obviously, that was traveling along the path of totality, right? So you could see it from an airplane, and that's a different way of seeing it. Something really cool. Probably expensive and all that stuff. I know all the bookings for Niagara Falls. I heard all the stories, right? They had all first responders on hand, bunch of crews on hand, medical blah 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 stuff, right? Just in case any technical issues, stuff like that, right? You know what, Celtic Girl? I mean, they're probably just in awe or wondering what's going on, right? Mixed messages, right? You know, they may think it's night, although it's very brief, very very brief. Obviously, an eclipse only lasts, well, a total eclipse or an annular eclipse only happens for a few minutes, although the duration of the whole eclipse time is much more, as in hours. But total eclipse only happens that perfect alignment where the moon covers the disk, the central part of the sun. All you see is that outside ring that we're all familiar in seeing in pictures and stuff like that. That doesn't last long. Because remember, the sun's, well, I shouldn't say the sun's moving, but actually, the Earth's moving across the sky. So the sun's tracking from the east to west. And obviously, the moon is going around the planet. So, yeah, it's just that it doesn't last long. Well, it's nice to see it. Something rare that you don't get to see in a daily life. And if you think about it, it kind of made this Monday a little bit more exciting, right? And who says Monday? Nothing happens on Mondays, right? Honestly, something did. Called eclipse. So, just one of those things. I kind of started to notice that more and more on YouTube. Especially as I've subscribed to more channels. And there's all certain eclipses, especially if it happens in your kind of country or area, there's always someone to be posting or live streaming, and communicating and checking it out for themselves, wearing the glasses or whatever, right? Also, the safety equipment to properly view an eclipse safely without damaging your eyes and stuff like that, regardless if it's glasses, a welding helmet, or one of those pinhole type of viewers where you see, where you make a pinhole and it casts a beam of light down onto the ground and you get to see it. A shadow on the ground. Not for the pinhole. Disclaimer right there, right? So it's just one of those things that's really cool to see. I was looking and noticed that the skies start to clear out a bit. It's kind of thin cloud out, but I managed to see a partial late in its during this event, I guess, for lack of a better word. It was very nice. Hey, what's up, Anton? Hi, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you were able to see some sunshine today. Hopefully everyone actually got to see a little bit more sunshine today. I'm pretty sure a lot more people got some vitamin D, right? And then, even if you didn't, well, hopefully you got some time outside anyways, right? Maybe you're gardening, for example. It's like, gardening? What does gardening have to do with solar? Everything. Gardening and solar or sunlight go hand in hand. Just like fire and solar can go hand in hand. Or it could be on the opposite side of the same coin. Hence, this is why I'm using this fire type of icon. Maybe I need to make a solar or sun-based one. Perhaps. I'll work on that in the future. Maybe for the next time I do a topic like this. But, yeah. Remember, all the plants, well, I don't have any out here right now because spring has barely started, but some of the plants I have inside, right, they're green. You know, they're absorbing in solar energy in, given that process of photosynthesis, right? Right? Making simple sugars to put in the ground to attract some microbes and exchange some elements and, growing, right? Pretty much, right? Regardless if it's an apple tree, a peach tree, a sunflower, a tomato plant, right? Anything that has, basically anything that has leaves, right? And I remember someone saying in this stream, what are the chances of this happening? Well, as in terms of the eclipse, we just happen to be alive, living right now, and being able to see it, right? Have the technology to be able to see this, right? Glasses, telescopes, blah, blah, and all this other stuff, right? Because it's just one of those, very rare things. It's not the rarest thing. However, it is pretty rare. Because especially being able to, what we see as a total eclipse or an annular eclipse, as far as we know, alright, this is the only place in the solar system that it happens. Everywhere else it doesn't happen like that. Because either the moons are too small on the other planets, or the distance isn't proper. But you're probably like, well, isn't the sun much bigger than the moon? Yeah. But the moon is really much closer in comparison. And that rare alignment that we get, you get to see something like that. And I think an eclipse actually allowed us to discover stuff. And honestly, it's been around for millennium, right? Since ancient times, right? They didn't know exactly what it was at first. But also in modern times now we know kind of what it is. It can be predicted in terms of when it happens, right? And there'll be a path of darkness, the moon shadow, path of totality, and obviously people start booking those places, right? The events kind of go around that, right? Infrastructure, right? Security, first responders, right? Venues, right? Because obviously, if people are gonna come, make some money off it, help the local area and stuff like that. Hi, Vanessa. Hi, Ivy. I see you in there. I see you guys in there. Ivy. Ivy. Holly. Hi, Vanessa. Yeah, the moon shadow day. Well, okay. Yeah, exactly. I know. Remember, there is much more rare stuff than a solar eclipse. There is. There's only one thing I know of. See, you know how everyone's like, it's on the news, people are talking about it, people are live streaming, people are posting pictures, I'm talking about it right now. There is only one thing that could ever top a total eclipse. If you can guess that, well, clearly you're in the right space. See what I did there? Space? Yeah. So, yeah, it's definitely sunny out. And like I said, hopefully everyone's able to get some seed started. If not inside, then at least out. If not outside, then at least inside. Get someone going for yourself. Start growing something for your garden patch. You know, I actually started a couple seeds today. I was just like, you know what? Now seems like a better day than any to start some seeds. At least some seeds that'll take a bit of time to germinate, let alone grow. I mean, I definitely haven't started a few other ones yet. It's still early. I'm trying to kind of time it well. So when I transplanted, it's like after the last frost, or after the last chance of frost, or at least where it's warm enough. I mean, it's warm out right now. Definitely above, well, definitely above seasonal here. I think it's like 53, 54 Fahrenheit, 13 Celsius for everyone else. It's quite nice outside. Very, very nice outside. So were you guys able to see something? Or did you guys see pictures at least? Right? But yeah, I mean, a solar eclipse has even entered in, like, let's say, not just mainstream, obviously, but like even in the fantasy realm of things, where they add that into the storyline. There's been TV shows that have added that into storylines and stuff like that, right? Kind of make it more unique, stuff like that. You know, when they study the sun out there, when scientists study the sun out there, I'll say they use satellites, right? They use a satellite that can create a artificial eclipse, right? So they can study stuff, you know. Hence why we know things like the solar wind, or in the Copernicus community, what a coronal mass ejection is, and CME is. Alright, alright. The shot of charged particles through space, alright, that spread outward from the sun. And sometimes can affect the planet here for us here on the planet. Oh, that's awesome, Holly. Your hubby finished putting up the greenhouse? Nice, nice, nice. That's nice. I can't wait to start gardening some more. It's gonna be epic. Hopefully. Hopefully it'll be epic. I mean, right now, I've started a few things. I think as this month goes on, and obviously as we enter in next month, May, obviously I'll have more things started, grown. We'll see when I actually post the video. It'll still be a while. And remember, I just started. I need to compile a few videos of it, some recordings, some pictures to show you. But I do have a few things started. I'm still debating on starting this one thing. I might consider it. I only started one thing. Because I'm starting the stuff that's actually gonna take longer to germinate or longer to grow. Or take longer to outgrow the container that I put it into before I transplant it out. You know. So I'm gonna do it like that. Just share a little bit more. So things that take a little less time to germinate, kind of take longer to outgrow the container, a little bit later. And trying to time it well. I still have to wait for my garden bed to dry out though. I'll show you this one. It's kind of bright out here. See? Yeah. letting it dry out a little bit. Still quite moist. It's been nice out west, but it hasn't been that warm out yet. It's warm. Don't get me wrong, it's definitely warm outside. And yes, these are here too. Mostly I'm talking about solar stuff, sun stuff, so clearly quite self-explanatory what that was. So I'm hoping that I can actually have something along the lines of what I had last year or better, as much as possible. So yeah, I'm just out here just checking on some stuff here. I have something that overwintered, but let's see if it grows back. I'll have to see. What? Ooh, I wonder what that is. I'm slowly trying to get the sun over it and stuff like that. Slowly expose it to some sunlight. Actually, today was the first day that I actually gave it some water. Well, especially since I'm exposing it to some sunlight now. I might have to mulch the ground around it. The spot gets quite a bit of heat during the day, especially if it's sunny. It's south-facing and stuff like that. I'll have to see. I'll have to see if I'll actually keep it in the ground or have to transplant it into a container. I'm not sure. Or transplant it somewhere else. I'll have to see. But first of all, it's gotta wake up from hibernation. The leaves on it are still green though, so at least some of it is. Actually, I think, look off this chunk right there. It's kind of brown, that one chunk. The rest of it looks kind of green. So you guys and gals gardening out there? Hopefully you've been able to get outside, at least start with something, or at least plant something. Like I said, hopefully this plant will survive over the summer. Well, first I got to make it through the spring first. Hopefully I'll show something good. Yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait. You know, I didn't really plan this stream, just like how I didn't plan the shorts and the last video. I just figured why not? I saw the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm just like, yeah, why not? Seems like a good timing, anyways, right? Everyone's talking about the clips and stuff, so I figured I might as well post a solar ignition video and talk about sunshine and things related to sunshine. I know everyone else has been posting about their gardening stuff, especially people in the US. Some people here in Canada too. I'm trying, right? I've just started some stuff, among some other things, trying to get something going here. The spot that I actually had the sunflowers last year, I actually, for anyone that didn't see me drop the leaves back in the fall time, I think when did I post that? In October? I think I posted that in October. Kind of started that at the beginning of that month, but it's it's doing its thing. We'll see when I actually plant the sunflowers back into that spot again. Hopefully it will turn out well. There's a couple of things I learned. I There's definitely one thing I learned about the sunflowers is you got to be very, very careful when you're watering when it's flowering or it's top heavy. Cause it's too, if the base near the root gets too soft, it can become so top heavy that it actually breaks or gets uprooted. Because remember, a sunflower, especially the mammoth variety sunflowers, especially if the heads, let's just say 5, 8, 10 pounds, whatever, right? 12 inches, which is about 25, 26 centimeters wide, a foot wide. Because the sunflower head is so heavy, it becomes very top heavy. It starts to lean. You'll start noticing it as it grows, as the flower head gets bigger, and also as the seeds develop, it starts to get more and more top heavy just because it's putting more weight at the top, right? So you gotta be very careful when watering it, right? Give it some water, but make sure not to get the stalk part too wet. If you don't want it getting soft and it's like and falls over. Has that happened to me? Thank goodness I planted more than just one. I had a few. I had some spares, right? But I was like, yeah. I was just like, dang it, my bad. But I guess it's just one of those things you learn by doing, right? Sometimes gardening, you learn the most important lessons, the most valuable lessons are learned by doing, right? You start to learn what not to do, and therefore, in time, you'll learn the things that work better, just because you get better results and stuff like that. It's more sustainable. You can reproduce the results time and time again, all right? So, one of those things I learned the hard way. Definitely don't overwater the sunflower when it's really, really big, really, really tall, and it has a really heavy flower head. So that's one of the things I learned. Let's see, what's my time? Half an hour in. All right. But yeah, I mean, sunflower is just one of those things I'm starting to grow more and more fond of. You think of like a garden in the sun. Somehow sunflowers just seems to be one of those plants that you think of, right? If I remember right, it's part of the daisy family, hence why it looks like that, right? You get the ray flowers along the outside, and you get really tall, skinny little flowers on the inside that get pollinated by the pollinators, and therefore you get sunflower seeds that you can roast, make microgreens, or regrow in the following seasons, etc., etc. Right? I didn't roast any beans. I'm thinking about coffee, roasting beans. I didn't roast any seeds last season, like I did the previous season, but that's because, like I said, I lost a couple of plants, so I decided not to. I'll save them for germination instead, or from our microgreens, or to grow some more stuff like that. I need to try out this experiment that I did last year. I gotta try it again. see if I can reproduce something that I did, that I tried as an experiment. I think I'll document it a little bit more this time around. I did it last year 2023 season as just a, yeah, let's try this out, see what happens, right? But this time around, I'll do the exact same thing again, right? It's kind of documented a little bit more. It's quite interesting to see. And besides, it was nice to look at too, actually. And there was more reasons why I did it too. So we'll see. We'll see. Hey, Bob. Hey, we're still here, aren't we? The eclipse is over. We're still here. We're still here, right? Oh, how's it going, Bob? Hey, Bob. I'm surprised. I thought you guys get so much rain or clouds there. I'm surprised you guys even saw it. A little knew about it. I know some places, like I said, unfortunately, they were in the path of totality and clouds came over at that time. Unfortunate, right? But obviously, solar eclipses, well, actually, eclipses in general are always weather dependent. There could be thin cloud, you could still see it, but if it's total cloudy or dark clouds, the light, the solar lights, the light from the sun won't be able to hit the ground. When you're high and stuff like that. So yeah. And like I said, there is only one thing that could ever outshine a solar eclipse. Pun intended. There's only one thing. One thing I can think of that can out. Alright, you know how, like I said, everyone's talking about it, or was talking about it, over the news, pictures, photos, people posting, people with the glasses, etc., etc. There's only one thing I know of that could outdo a solar eclipse. But I'll leave that just before I end the stream. Keep you guys in suspense. Because even before I started this channel, I was always fascinated about space, even when I was younger. See, here's another thing that I never really talked about, right? I used to watch the stuff when I was younger. I used to watch the show when I was younger. I'm trying to remember what it's called. I'm trying to even remember what channel it was on. I'm trying to remember. Was it on Access? It's a space type of show, right? Even when I was younger, right? Being able to see through a telescope, right? And stuff like that. You know, I've seen the more common lunar eclipse where, you know, you see something like where the moon kind of looks like that blood red type of color, that red hue type of color. Yeah, I've seen that. You know, I remember standing outside with my friend at like 1:30 in the morning looking at this, right? And it's like -2 Fahrenheit, -20 Celsius outside. It's like we had some hot chocolate or something like that, some warm drinks. So we're just talking, just looking at it, right? Because it was a clear night out, right? It's nice to see that too. You know, where they're casting a shadow over the moon, right? Stuff like that. It's quite interesting to see. So yeah, I've always been fascinated with it. I guess that's where my interest in nature comes along too, right? Nature and space. I've always been fascinated about it, right? Our interactions through it all, right? And obviously this rare alignment where you get to see an eclipse, obviously. Right? I'm gonna plug in my phone here. So, like my short said this morning, woke up, made some coffee, set out my solar lights, and looked out into the sky. And I saw the sun. And a little bit later, I saw a partial eclipse. Right? I bet you those places in the path of totality were probably packed, busy, right? Right. And hopefully, some of these people not only enjoyed the view of it, but maybe learned something new, right? Something they didn't know beforehand, right? Like I said, there is actually multiple types of solar eclipses, right? Obviously, there's a partial eclipse that more people can actually see on a grander area. Then you get a total eclipse, right? Where the moon covers the whole center part of the sun, right? Then there's what's called an annular eclipse, because sometimes the there's the moon when the moon's going around, it's not in a perfect circle. So it's at some spots along its path, all right, because it's going around us, right? Sometimes it's a little bit closer and further away. So an annular eclipse is not quite like a total eclipse. It's a little bit smaller, right? So it's not quite the same. I mean, obviously, it probably looks just as mesmerizing, right? And then there's other times where, at the right angle, some places can see a total eclipse while other places can see an annular eclipse. I think that's known as a hybrid. I didn't realize there was actually a term for that. But yeah, apparently there is. Because I looked it up. I was looking it up the other day. Or last night or something like that before I went to bed. I was just like kind of brushing up on the knowledge on that, right? And stuff like that. I'm remembering that. What's what time is it? So it's nice out right now. And like I said, I got my solar lights charging right now. Been using these solar lights for a period of time now. Hasn't been that long. Hasn't been a full year, but show you guys right here. Put it on the ground over here. Oh. On the solar lights. Oh, must have popped up a battery. Just something so I can hang it. I've been using these for a bit now. Just topping off some batteries I have. AA batteries. Rechargeable AA batteries I have. Because it's actually supposed to be not sunny tomorrow. The sun's supposed to come back on Wednesday though. But I figured I'd take advantage of this more sunny type of day here and charge some of those AA batteries while I'm at it. Bank the power for later. Use these solar lights for later at night, right? Indirectly use solar energy at like 10 o'clock at night. I mean, I've used these for a while now. I've been doing it for a while now, actually. It's quite nice, actually. You know? And they kind of double if the grid went down or some power issues. At least I would have the lighting aspect of it covered for a little bit of time. Wouldn't need to dip into like flashlights, lanterns, or candles, or glow sticks, or anything like that. Yet. I mean, I have used them the last time I had a power outage, and it kind of stretched into the evening time where it was kind of darker, relatively speaking, coming close to dusk and stuff like that. And it was not. And one of the things that was really nice was, and I actually have this room, this washroom that doesn't have a window. So during that time, it was hot out because this was actually at the same time back in 2021, and we had the heat dome come over here in Canada, right? And it just, I was expecting some sort of power outage, and it did happen temporarily, a couple hours, right? But I had a quick shower just to cool off for it. The Solroids made it so convenient. I didn't even have to dip into, our flashlight, our batteries, disposable batteries, candles, and everything like that. Pretty much just hung the shower, hung a solar light over the shower. Took my quick 30-minute shower to cool off for it. Got back out, changed, went back outside. And a couple hours later, the power went back. Came back, so it's all good. So yes, I have used them before. And speaking of sun, it's sunflowers. How are you doing, my friend? I could just picture her saying, "Hi, sweetheart. Hi, sunflower. Hopefully you're doing well. It's nice to see you around. I haven't seen you in a hot minute, as they say. Nice to see you around." So yeah, like I was saying earlier, sunflowers. I hope to start the sunflowers soon. Soon. Relatively speaking. We'll see. And there's an experiment I want to try out again this year. I want to test something, but I want to do this again just to see, was it a fluke, or can I reproduce the result? Because scientifically, being able to reproduce the results and all that stuff, right? So I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. Only time will tell. But we'll see how well this season goes. It's been, I wouldn't say extremely dry out west. There hasn't been much snow, relatively speaking, for the 2023-2024 season. Relatively speaking for the area at all, in the grand scale of the area. Some areas may have gone a little bit more than a little bit above normal and stuff like that. Because I remember last year at this time, yeah, it's April 8th, there was still snow on the ground, relatively speaking. And this year, there was less ice underneath the snowbanks in comparison. I mean, we've already had a bunch of freeze and thaw cycles, so obviously I've seen the sun, obviously, to melt that snow, right? But lately, we're transitioning into spring more and more, it seems like, where the daytime temperatures are well above freezing. We're seeing some sun, and the overnight temperatures are just below freezing now. So, yeah, it's starting to transition over to spring more and more as time goes on. Can't wait. Of course, sunflower. Of course, sunflower. We should chat again. I miss chatting with you. Just like how I miss chatting with all of you out there. You saw 67 today. That should be about around that 18 Celsius mark. So I think it's like 54 here right now. 54. 13, 14 Celsius out. It's quite more about, actually. I think I will probably do it, if not this week, then next week for sure. I gotta start doing the winter laundry. I washed all that winter gear pack it away for the season, you know? I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna need it. I better not jinx myself saying that, but quite confident with it anyways. Especially if it's gonna be sunny out. I'll be able to hang it up to dry. Some of that winter gear. I actually have some winter gloves outside right now. They're just hanging, drying in the sun right now. They're absorbing some solar energy, among some other things. So, and they'll be metaphorically sunlight fresh, not the brand, not the soap, but the natural scent. Sorry, I keep getting these messages on Instagram. Everyone's just communicating all this stuff. And I keep getting these notifications that pop on my screen here. And I gotta keep swiping them away. They're all over the place here. Oh, here we go. Hey, it's Molly. Hi, Molly. How are you doing? It's Pest Hunter's Best Catch in the house. How are you doing, Molly? You know, it's kind of funny sometimes when I see people that I've actually heard their voice and they say hi to me. Like in gen, I can always hear their voice saying hi to me. Is that weird? Or is it because I just know you, I started to know you guys or heard you guys before and I can actually picture you saying hi or hear you saying hi to me? Because I've already heard you say hi. Yeah, I've already heard you guys say hi to me before. Yeah, just one of those things. I guess this is why I have a hard time trying to forget things at times. No. Well, you're quite welcome, Molly. I was about to say Holly, because I have a Holly and a Molly here. I didn't think I would say that today. I have a Holly and a Molly on my stream. I better not start singing. It might give me a copyright strike for start singing something related to that. But yeah, I got sunshine today, and there was no cloudy day here. So, it's quite nice out. Like I said, I'm getting plenty of solar energy now. Like I said, I got my gloves drying. I actually need to check on them real quicker. Yeah, something like that, Holy. Something like that. I guess maybe I have a keen sense of sound or hearing. Maybe that's why I like to listen to music. There's something about that too. I've always enjoyed that too. Actually, if I think about it, you know, per se, I was never a book type of person, right? But music was always that thing, right? Although I don't really listen to audiobooks. However, I do listen to documentaries, if not per se watching them. So I guess that kind of counts. I mean, I've actually used. Actually, I haven't been there for a while. On this, what's that called? I'm trying to remember the address. Archive somewhere. But anyways, I was looking at these archive copies of survival manuals and books like that, and you can read it, right? But on the app, on the site allows you to have it spoken to you, right? You just highlight all the text, it'll read it out to you. Now it's actually kind of doing that. I haven't done that for a while though, because I've been watching other stuff and doing other stuff, and also creating content too. So And speaking of which, I do have a video out. Not this week. I think I have it scheduled for next week. Yeah, I have it scheduled for next week. Right. I recorded it earlier this month, but you'll see some other stuff. I added some other things into that video to kind of make it a little bit more entertaining, we just say. And we'll kind of sum up today a little bit more for it. But I would say you guys are watching right now are getting that virtual sneak peek or verbal sneak peek of it. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, there's only one thing that can outshine, metaphorically speaking, an eclipse. There's only one thing I know of. But it hasn't happened in modern times. It has happened in human history. So if you remember how the news, the people, events all around the solar eclipse that happened today, if this era event actually did happen within our lifetime, it would dwarf anything else from a solar eclipse. We just say, but it'd be really, really rare, even more rare than an eclipse. Like I said, there is one. At least I know at least one thing that's possible to see that is more rare than eclipse. I mean, eclipses, or being able to see an eclipse is rare, I should say. Like Vanessa Kitty says, eclipses actually happen on the planet all the time, except for there's actually no one over the ocean at times to see it. Alright? Someone's got to be there to record it, video it, take a picture of it, whatever, and document it, right? Like, they happen all the time, technically. But there's another thing I been thinking of would actually be even more rare. Alright? It'd be like maybe once every 10,000 years, if not 1,000 years at least, of an occurrence. I forget the exact probability or numbers. It's been a while. And then, I've been watching this airspace stuff lately, and I've been like learning a little bit more, or at least understanding it a little bit more. kind of makes me wish I paid attention more in science class because some of the terminology is like even beyond my head at times. It's just like, whoo, it's way out there. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get their sunny day walk in as a video shortly. If not this month, in terms of a video the next month or whatever. Because there's a couple of things I want to try out actually. I want to try something out in terms of, especially when when it's clear out and you see blue skies outside. You see that perfectly blue sky. Alright? There's something I want to try out, actually. But it's not clear out right now. There's something I want to try out. And basically what I wanted to see I wanted to see most content creators, people that have been posting videos or all that stuff, even have a road knowledge about. There is a thing called green screen, right? Well, there's also a thing called blue screen, too. I've been wondering, can you actually use blue sky on a clear, sunny day as a blue screen? Relatively speaking. Now, there'll be light direction and stuff like that, hot spots or brightness a factor, but I've been thinking about that. Because I have used it before to hold something up in the air, blue sky behind it, right? And just kind of remove that blue out, or technical term would be background removal or something like that. So I have done that before. Because I tried that before when I was showing this apple tree. Because I took a picture of an apple and I used it as part of the thumbnail that I was using. Because I've noticed, especially since I've been doing it a little bit more, especially on some of the footage I have, sometimes I'll actually remove that blue out. I'm like, I can actually do some cool effects here. Right? Kind of blur the background, make myself more in focus, for example. Right? So I've been thinking about it. I'm not sure exactly how I've known. Technically I know how to do it. It's more like an angle, right? And stuff like that. What's up, Jason? Yeah, I missed you guys' stream earlier, and I think I saw the thumbnail real quickly on it. You guys were getting some cloud. Take care, Holly. Hi, Gil. Ah, you came inside. You see the sun today, Gil? Hopefully you managed to see some sun today. I know some people managed to see some sun today. Like I said, everyone was streaming. It seemed like I'm not the only one. I'm just kind of more elaborating more on some sunshine beyond the eclipse, right? I think the next one is in October. I forget where it is technically, but it'll happen somewhere. I have to double check that. I think that's in the fall, in October. I'll just see where. So go figure, right? Yeah. It came out after the eclipse. Yeah, I know. Like I said, I managed to see, because I live more west, the eclipse, the shadow was more on the, as you're looking at sun, would be on more left side, hand side on the screen. Well, of your point of view, because that actually faces east, right? Because totality was more out east, relatively speaking. Texas, Eastern time zone, blah blah blah. Niagara Falls here in Canada, Montreal. Exited out in Newfoundland or something like that, right? So hopefully some of those people manage to see something or get their money's worth, right? Because I know voices got booked up pretty quickly, alright? Especially since last month, if not already, well, or really soon, right? Because since it's weather dependent, I know sometimes people are kind of hesitant at times to go somewhere, right? Because it's weather dependent. Also, if it's cloudy, stormy, you're not gonna see an eclipse. But you know, as the extended forecast comes along the corner, right? You start to, it's like, it's gonna be sunny. Let's go. Okay. All right. That kind of deal. I've been actually liking the last several times there's been eclipse. It's actually been sunny out, or at least sunny enough that I can notice it. Not as clear out as it was last time. Back in the fall, I think. I'm trying to remember what day that was. But I managed to see something. There was something in the sky. It was quite nice. Huh, 71, hey? Well, 70 Fahrenheit is 21 Celsius. I have not seen 20 Celsius yet here. I've seen 19! I've seen 68 Fahrenheit here already. I've seen... I'll show you guys. Why not? I had to charge my phone. I gotta move. I had this one spot. It's technically, I wouldn't say shaded, but I'll show you guys. Hopefully it's not. Well, I don't lose signal here too much. Oh yeah, it should still be good. Alright. Come on. See? There's no snow here, technically. That's melting. And did I say it's like 53 right now? It's because the spot gets shaded out and stuff like that, so it hasn't. It's not receiving as much direct sunlight in comparison to the spot that I have, or to the side that's more in direct sunlight. And it's because direct sunlight, I can barely see the screen. So, last little bit of this is melting. And apparently I just lost the right side that hit. Go figure. So, yeah, this spot that I have is just technically it faces north, and there's uh, geez, some structures that provide shade to it still. But next couple days, by the end of this week, most of this will melt. Most of that snow will melt away too. Everywhere else has melted. Any in these open spots. It's all these spots that are in low-lying areas are shaded from trees and structures and stuff like that that kind of still have to melt that snow. I mean, I've already seen the bugs outside. I've already seen spiders. I think I've seen one ant. I saw a fly earlier in the season. Actually, yeah. I can actually see the flies right now. They're actually in the bed right now. Yeah, okay. I would try to show it, but knowing me, they'll fly away. Yeah, they'll fly away as soon as I get close to with the camera. Like, I just saw them. Oh, look who it is. It's Sassy Gal thing. I was trying to make a song out of it. I tried. How are you doing, Sassy? How's it growing? I know you're growing. Because I've seen the pictures. Or video. Yeah, it's in the fall. Yeah, yeah. Did you manage to see something, Sassy? Oh, you did look down south more. I don't imagine you were in the path of totality, but maybe you saw a little bit more of an eclipse that I did. Because I actually had to wait till a little bit later to start seeing a little bit more of it. Because, like I said, I live northwest of the path of totality, so technically, what I see here is just always going to be a part. You got 90% totality, yeah. So I'm assuming you saw it then. Yeah, nice, nice. You know what's funny? Today's like, I was watching this Eric Garden channel I'm subscribed to. I was watching some of this content, and then I watched some other content about someone starting some tomatoes. I'm like, I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna start it today, or at least start a batch of it today. So I did. All right. Grab some soil to use. Grab seeds. Grab some water. Right. Kind of mix it together, kind of deal, and cross my fingers and hope it grows. All right. It'll still be a while. I know. He's only day one. It'll still be a while. I'll be. I would be. I'd be lucky if it even germinated by like the end of next Friday. Huh. I like how one of my gardening containers just fell off my bench. It just rolled right off. I didn't even think it was that windy outside. It just, started to roll towards me. Rolling. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, all right, cool. You shared it over on Angie. All right, cool. If I haven't already seen it, I've been like going on like Instagram and YouTube. It seems like the whole day. But yeah, I'm surprised everyone made time for it today. right? It's a Monday. Like I said, I was saying this earlier to someone, and there's one of the very few streams I managed to attend today already. But I was just like, and who says there, there's nothing to do or nothing happens on a Monday, right? This is probably the most exciting Monday we'll have all year, probably for a while at least, right? Until the next kind of event or holiday lands on a Monday. Yeah, it's nice to see it. And like I said, understand why it happened and all that stuff, among some other things. Because I'm pretty sure because of the eclipses, we started to learn more about stuff, right? Start to learn about probably what corona mass ejections are. I know the Paredes community tosses that word out there a lot. Right? Uh, Sorry, I was just looking up, and all these birds just flew by. I've started to notice them come by a lot more. I noticed the geese coming back, but I've noticed some of the other smaller birds are kind of coming out a little bit more frequently in terms of seeing them. I know they're probably in the tree line all winter, but I started to see them make more of an active appearance during the day a lot more. Probably because they're foraging for food, obviously, right? So, so seeing the bugs too, kind of, right? And also the indication of like no snow on the ground is a pretty good indication that we're here anyways, and we're transitioning into spring more and more as the days go on. It's about damn time. Because all you guys were always talking about gardening, I'm just like, I still have snow on the ground. I appreciate everyone passing the heat up north, by the way. Thanks. It's very nice of you. Yeah, exactly. There's eclipses every year, but like I said earlier, three quarters of the planet is covered with water, the oceans, right? So eclipse happens over the oceans too. But when it happens over land, honestly, people can get together or events along the lines of it can happen and stuff like that. Because there's one thing another thing I want to notice during a total eclipse, maybe even an annular eclipse. I want to notice, right? I'll say everyone's gonna be mesmerized by seeing because I think you get to see the corona, I guess, yeah, of the sun, right? That outer or atmosphere of the sun during the solar eclipse, right? You get to see it, right? Something you don't usually get to see because during the day or whatever, because the sheer brightness of the sun overwhelms it, right? But I want one of these days when I get a chance, one of these days, it's on my bucket list, like some other things. It's not just to see an eclipse, but to be able to see the stars during the day once, because that's one of very few times that you can actually see it. Remember, the stars are always out during the day. We just can't see it because of this bright star called the sun in front of us. Right? Outshines everything. But when the sun's more blocked out like that during the eclipse, you can actually see the stars even by the sun or around, just because it's dark enough out. I just want to see that once. Just once. Just once. Alright? Let alone take a picture or a video or anything like that. That'd be nice. I would feel more complete. Life would be complete with that. I could start check that off the bucket list of things that I want to do, among some other things. Like trying to grow this one plant that I want to try to do. I just want to do it. Just to see if I can. What? I tried it last year. I got it to germinate. I got it to grow, but I never got fruit off it, and so I never showed a video never really talked about it. So, but I want to try again this year, at least once. Another chance at it, because I did learn a few things off of it, right? Because I know people grow them in greenhouses or down where it's warmer. Well, I want to try it out for myself. A little bit more advanced for me in terms of what I can grow here. You know, it'll make like the tomatoes or the sunflower look like it's like growing instantly in comparison. Because I tried it out last year, I was just like, I, I'll have to try again. I'll have to try again. I might actually have. I may actually have to grow it in a container. We'll see. We'll see how it all turns out. Yes, yes, exactly. Yes. My friends saw the North Star Journal. Yes, because I know about this too. I know about this too because, like I said, I watch lots of documentaries about space too. Right? Because I'm always fascinated about it, and so I actually watch documentaries about the planet too. Because I'm always interested about it. Right? Because these are the things that we see day to day or every so often, and and we're all mesmerized by the cliffs, but there's other things out there. But yeah. Because there was a famous experiment done during the solar eclipse to prove a theory. I think from Albert Einstein. Someone actually had to do the experiment for them. But it was taking place during a solar eclipse. There's videos about that. I won't go into details, but I thought that was quite interesting. Hence, that's one of the things I want to notice. Right? Everyone else will be looking at this. I'll be looking at stars around it. Right? Because that'd be quite interesting to see. Like I said. Yeah, there's pictures and stuff like that, even videos and blah blah. But I mean, seeing with your own eyes, right? Being able to just look and just see this panoramic view for your own eyes. It's not a picture or a video or a 3D video, but with your own eyes, right? With your own senses. There's something about that. I guess that's why people will take all this time off work, pay money to go somewhere to go see an eclipse. So hopefully they made it worth it. I know for me, if I actually went somewhere to specifically go do this, I would make it worth it. I'd be like, I'm going camping nearby later or that day or whatever, or it'd be like some special event or a place or whatever, right? I know totality happened here in Canada at Niagara Falls, so I guess that was probably something special, right? If you haven't been there, well, technically I haven't been to Niagara Falls. I technically had a chance, but due to technicalities, I wasn't able to go at that time. But yeah. Besides, I don't have a passport to visit out east right now, anyways. We'll visit the U.S. So it's very, very nice. It was this one time I was out in the GTA area, actually, a long time ago. Long time ago. Yes, I've been out east. Oh, sorry. For my American viewers, I think you're forgetting sometimes I'm talking. I'm Canadian. GTA. I got a Fifth Auto. I'm talking about the Greater Toronto area. I always have to elaborate here. It's like people are like GTA. sorry. The Canadianism things that I'm talking about, but yeah, it was a long time ago. So maybe one of these days I'll be able to see it with my own eye. I think if I actually went down there, I want to do a little bit more than just see the falls. I want to see the areas around the area too, right? Get a greater sense of the landscape, the nature, the area around it, right? And not just be fine tuned to one specific structure or scene. Because there's other things to see out there, right? Yeah, there's always gonna be those main attractions of any given place, regardless if it's urban, rural, natural, artificial, or synthetic, or man-made. Right? I'm pretty sure if you went to New York City, there's probably more to see than Statue of Liberty, Eiffel Tower. Right? You go to Paris, there's probably more to see than just the Eiffel Tower, right? Right? So, yeah, I would see those things for the first time, but realize there's other things out there that are just as interesting, right? They're not as mainstream or well known, but it would be nice to see them too and get a sense of that area, especially if it was the first time I visited it, right? Because I've been on other places that I like. I tried to explore a little, get a sense of it, right? Especially if you're only staying a short period of time in an area. First time there, it's nice to see as much as you can see, right? Take pictures, a couple of selfies whenever possible, right? Get a grand sense of everything, right? Because when you're a tour, it's different when you're a local because you take it for granted, right? Yeah, I can see this anytime I want. I see it all the time, right? But for a tourist or someone visiting, it's just like there's something else about it, right? They're like, oh, I didn't know you had this here. Oh, this is really cool. We don't have this here back where I am or whatever, right? And it's like, holy cow, this structure's so tall, right? You look up, it's like, hey guys, I can't look at it anymore. It hurts my neck looking up all the way up on the structure, right? Especially if you're at the base or ground level and you're looking up, you're like, wow, this is really, really tall. Or something like that. Because I can imagine if I went into the US, seeing these landmarks that I've only heard about in books, read about, see in videos, see pictures of, Grand Canyon, etc., etc., right? Right? I've seen pictures, but being able to see it with your own eyes, hearing it with your own, sensing it with your own sight, that's senses, right? Hearing it, seeing it, and smelling it, right? There'd be something about that that's kind of a little bit more concrete than just looking at a picture. Well, something you wouldn't get from looking at a picture or seeing it in video, right? I mean, even like the scripted video only goes so far, right? And we don't have smell vision yet, so sometimes, right? It's like, yeah, so this is that kind of sulfur raw egg smell that they talk about. Or, oh, this is a lot taller in person than I ever realized. Mm. I like how I just got this notification. It causes some places in Canada to be dark. Well, duh. Because if there was Eastern Canada, the Atlantic side was on the path of totality. And relatively speaking, it was later in the day, right? So people might have been able to get off work to go see it, or at least get a glimpse of it, get off school and see it, right? I'll say out west here, it's during midday, so a little bit different. And we only had a partial out west because totality was out east. So yeah, let's see, what's my time here? I'll probably go for another 5 minutes. I wasn't planning to talk so much, so much about solar stuff, but like I said, I do find interest in it. I do find an interest in it. I mean, there's technical stuff out there that I tried to pick up on the documentary. I'm like trying to understand it because it's very technical. Right? It makes something, this alignment that we had of the moon, sun, and planet. It's kind of like seem kind of quite basic. Understand. It was like I tried to pick up this everything about this more technical stuff. I'm like, yeah, this is even beyond my level of thinking, my train of thought. You know, and there I find at times that could be technical or whatever. I mean, like this is even more technical. A lot more big words that I'm still trying to understand and stuff like that. And there's these other words I've started to pick up from watching these space documentaries at times. What's that word? A transit? Words like that. And I'm just like, oh, I see. And I look it up, I'm like, oh, that's what it means. It's actually, and I realized the word, the words penumbra and umbra. I finally know what those mean. And it kind of makes me kind of understand something else. Why a specific game chose a certain word. Now I know why. But if you're wondering what game I'm talking about, well, let's just say you gotta catch them all. Now I'm starting to understand why they mention it like that. I start to understand why they named some of the characters a certain way. I'm like, oh, that's why. As Umbra is supposed to mean like shadow or darkness. Hence the name of a character. Hence the name of a character. And now it makes sense why I see it like that. Because I was always wondering about that, and I'm like, oh, wait a second, so that's what it means. Right. I'm trying to figure out how I can actually use those words in like regular talking, and then just during solar eclipse. That's a definite two words I don't use a day to day. So yes, in my last 2 minutes, yeah, a couple of minutes, sir. That's 2.5 minutes, sir. What time is it? Oh, okay. I gotta remember what time it is. I gotta start working on the next video. I actually have videos for this month already as a content creator, and the shorts and the reels. They just have to be public, or scheduled, or in draft. I'm just waiting for the days to actually occur, come along, or the time actually comes around. I'm actually starting to work on the videos for May now. Technically, I have one short, and I think I will have one Instagram reel for May already. I'm working on them. I need a little bit more time. I don't know if the gardening stuff gonna make it this month. Obviously, like I said, I barely started. I mean, you already saw earlier. Like they're pumping in right now. I've already shown the snow. I still have a little bit out here, not too much, but that kind of stuff still has to dry out and disappear first before anything else. And I'll say the soil itself, the temperature of the soil has to warm up, the ambient air has to warm up, and all that stuff. Especially as the overnight temperatures kind of raise, let's say, into that 40 Fahrenheit, 4 or 5 Celsius range, I'll start to notice it a little bit more. Because it won't be, quote unquote, freezing or below freezing overnight. So that risk of frost and stuff like that will kind of fade away. So just enjoy some time out here. Of course, now I don't hear birds. I hear the birds in this distance. They must be taking a break. Because when I first started the stream, there was a lot more. I think they're kind of in the tree line or somewhere else now. They're taking a break. I guess they're probably gathering, foraging for food. Because honestly, nothing has really came out of the ground yet, right? No one plants, and I mean, not just plants, but insects too. Bugs too, right? Like I said, I saw a fly, a spider, and an ant. Right? This is how I'm knowing. And seeing the birds kind of give me more indication that we're transitioning into spring more and more now. But I do believe that they kind of know when it's kind of getting warmer outside. You know, they sense that, right? Maybe through the daylight, alright? And stuff like that. So, oh, come on. So eventually I'll have something in the ground in time. In time I'll have something in the ground and it won't look so bare. I want to, I want to see some green. It's really cool sometimes when I see the bed totally filled with green, like with green leaves and like bush slash whatever foliage, right? It's really cool to see that. You know, nature's own kind of green screen, right? It's sometimes and it shoots the ground too, right? Almost like a living mulch kind of deal, right? And it shades the ground, so the ground, the soil, the dirt doesn't lose the moisture as easily because it's covered by something. Because obviously the dirt is darker in color, so the rate of evaporation is probably quicker in comparison to the grass. A little bit slower compared to like cement or a piece of wood that's on the ground, but still relatively fast. Alright, I just realized I talked for an extra 2 minutes. So, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this stream. Shout out to the replay game. Hopefully, you all out there can enjoy some more solar energy. Utilize it, get some vitamin D off of it. I don't know, maybe do some solar ignition with it too, like I did. Right? And go beyond enjoying it, not just for the heat and the light, and not just for that rare alignment of an eclipse, but there are things you can use it for. There are things, right? Take care, everyone. And apparently my headset just died, so that's a good segue to exit the stream. Alright, everyone. Go out there and do something awesome out there. Because things are changing. And we're gonna do something about it too. Go practice some things out there. And if you can, try to help someone out. Alright, everyone. I'll catch you all on the next one. See ya. And all the best from the one known as CR. Take care.